Alright, this is my 99 GMC Suburban. As most of you can tell by looking at the video here, it's got a 6.5 liter diesel in it. My air conditioning hasn't worked on it since I bought it. I found that my low pressure AC hose had been rubbing up against the dipstick for the transmission fluid and eventually ended up wearing a hole right through. Let's see if I can get it focused in there. Wearing a hole through the metal. Now, I'll say right now, this is not the correct way to fix it. This is a quick fix. I will eventually replace the part, but this new hose assembly, it's not that much. I think you get it for under $100. It's just kind of a pain to get to. You have to take the front grill off to get to the hose that hooks up to the condenser, and then the rear hose for the AC is under the turbo. I don't have the time or the money right now to do it that way, but basically I'm going to take JB Weld. I've already cleaned this off real good with just a Dawn dish soap and a new dish pad. Scrubbed it off real good, dried it off. I'm going to go over it with some really thick coarse sandpaper just to rough it up. I'm going to cover this much of it, starting from the fitting onto about down here where my thumb's at, in JB Weld. It's going to kind of drip off, and then I'm going to go back over it with fiberglass mesh and wrap it, and then go back over it again with JB Weld. So it's going to be a big ugly ball of JB Weld and fiberglass mesh. It's not going to look pretty, but you know it's going to get me through this summer until I have a chance to fix it properly. Part of the reason I don't want to go and take the time and money to do it right is I'm hoping to later this year yank the 6.5 liter out and put a Cummins diesel in it, and I'm going to have to replace a bunch of AC components at that point anyways. So I don't want to spend the money on something that is only going to be in here for a few months anyways. I'll update this video some more once I have the JB Weld on it, and anyways, I know this isn't the correct way to do it. I know the correct way is to replace all your components, put new hoses in, but this will work. I've done it before and didn't have any issues with it. So I hope some of you shade sheary DIY guys find this helpful. Okay, so what I've done is I took some sandpaper to it. I covered the whole area, probably about a 2-inch area. Can't really see because of the saran wrap, but from where the rubber hose crimps on right back here to about where my thumb is, I'm sorry, right about here, that whole area, covered it really good in JB Weld, wrapped the fiberglass mesh around it, and of course the JB Weld has got a pretty low viscosity, and so it starts to drip off all over the place. So I wrapped it in saran wrap to keep it nice and tight, and I'll let this sit for about 24 hours. So tomorrow I'll come back, I'll take the saran wrap off the best I can, and then I will vacuum out the system and charge it up, and hopefully I will have some nice ice cold AC. Okay, so the JB Weld has been on there for about 24 hours now. I went ahead and took the saran wrap off, vacuumed down the system. It seems to be holding a vacuum. I'm going to let that sit there for about an hour. Come back and check it. I took a picture of it, which is always a good idea. That way you can compare exactly where that needle's at. I'm going to come back in an hour or so and take a look at it, make sure that I haven't lost any vacuum. Again, just to show you what that looks like. It's not pretty. We've got most of the saran wrap off. Obviously some of it is stuck to the JB Weld. When I'm done here, I'm going to take a piece of heater hose and put it over, slide it down over the dipstick housing to keep that from rubbing up against it. I'm not really sure. I know my motor mounts are bad. I think that might be why the motor's sitting a little weird, causing this to rub up against the AC line. That's another project for another day. I'll update you here on the video in a little bit after I come back and make sure it's holding a vacuum, and we'll see how the AC turns out. Okay, well there's the gauges. I'm not going to do a tutorial on how to charge your AC because everything I know about it I learned on YouTube. My AC compressor, as you can tell, is going. The fix that I did back here is holding up. I don't have a temperature gauge to stick in my AC vent to tell you how good it's working, but I can tell you it's blowing ice cold. So there you have it. There's a way to fix a hole in an AC line without having to replace the line. Cost you a few dollars. Again, I've said it before in the video. I can't reiterate it enough because I don't want hate mail. I know this isn't the correct way to do it. The correct way is to replace the part, not jerry-rig it like I did, but it works. I've done this before and it's lasted years. I sold the vehicle with it and never heard anything from it since. So anyways, hope this helps some of you out. Thanks.